105 pounds, standing at 6'4".
Swagger like us, swagger like us. No one on the corner has swagger like us. Swagger like us, swagger like us. No one on the corner has swagger like us. Swagger like us, swagger.
First time in 49 years, the St. Louis Blues are headed to the Stanley Cup Final.
Everything you need to know about sports is right here. This is Sports Central with Robert Hickman and Jared Cooney.
If we show emotion, we're called dramatic. If we want to play against men, we're nuts. And if we dream of equal opportunity, delusional. When we stand for something, we're unhinged.
It's gonna need to calm down.
When we're too good, there's something wrong with us. And if we get angry, we're hysterical, irrational, or just being crazy. But a woman running a marathon was crazy.
Officials tried to pull her off the course.
A woman boxing was crazy. A woman dunking? Crazy. Coaching an NBA team? Crazy. A woman competing in a hijab, changing her sport, landing a double cork 1080, or winning 23 Grand Slams, having a baby, and then coming back for more? Crazy, 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 and crazy. So if they want to call you crazy, fine. Show them what crazy can do.
That's right, guys. We are crazy,
Yes.
and that's what crazy can do, baby.
It's fun being crazy.
It is your favorite people in the whole
If
wide
people
world.
say
I
your
hope-
dreams are
I
crazy,
hope I'm your favorite people. But this is
if they laugh at what
Sports
you think you can,
Central. It is myself. I am Robert. You can see my beautiful face right there. That's who I am, Robert, right here. And my awesome co-host. He's not Robert, but he is Jared Cooney, baby.
I hope you all love me too.
Just as much as you love myself.
Yes. Thanks for tuning in once again to Sports Central.
Man, we have so much cool stuff going on, and
It's been a minute.
so we took a little time last week. Jared and I had some personal things going on. Jared decided he was gonna spring and take a little vacation and go to Florida.
You know what's funny was that I told you the day before, and I was like, oh shit, I should probably tell Rob.
Well, you had mentioned it previously, and I think I just forgot about it because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, of
It
course
sounds
you're going
alright,
there.
yeah.
But yes, it is myself and it is Jared. We are Sports Central. You can check us out right there, Sports Central 89 on Facebook. You can check us out at SportsFox3 on Twitter, and you can check us out on Instagram at Sports Central 89. You can also check us out on our website, sports-fox.com, and email us at onair@sportsfox.com. If you go to our website, which is right there, the sports-fox.com, you can pick up one of these awesome bad boys, baby.
Yes.
Go to the shop page right there.
Snapback bat.
Snapback white trucker style hats. We have these available in white and black. You can pick those up there, as well as we have Sports Fox T-shirts as well. So make sure you guys go and check out all of that awesomeness. Now, let's get into the show. So, Jared, there is a lot of stuff going on. But so there's two big things happening right now. Both the NHL and the NBA are in their finals.
Yes. It's been beautiful.
There's controversy in both. Let's real quick listen to what happened in Game 5 against the St. Louis Blues and the Boston Bruins.
Let's get right to it. The call that did not happen that led to the game-winning goal for St. Louis.
Many storylines here, but the one that's going to stick for most people is this most definitely poor call or non-call on the Boston Bruins. This should never have happened, and Bruins fans have a right to be upset. Watch this as he gets tripped here by right here from Bozak, and it's Achari. You can see the official has a clear view of it, a crystal clear view. Again, look at him. There's nothing to impede his view of the trip, and he does have a clean trip here. This is what he saw. No call, and then seconds after that, the puck was in the back of the Boston net. This is a disaster, causing Cam Neely to act like this, and I don't blame him, because you work all year long to eliminate 29 teams to get yourself in a position to be 2 out of 3 in a Stanley Cup final. An official blows a call as badly as that was blown. That's just unforgivable, and I don't know where Kelly Sutherland winds up again, but it shouldn't be refereeing another Stanley Cup final game.
And it obviously had a direct influence on the goal, because Achari was still laying on the ice. Looked like he bumped his head when he fell down, so a missed call becomes a disaster for the officials because the puck ends up in the net. And not often that you see a call that's missed like that and it immediately ends up being a goal. So this was not a situation that the Boston Bruins wanted to find themselves in. I give them credit for coming back.
So yeah, we've got this situation with the Boston Bruins and the St. Louis Blues, a situation where people are throwing a huge, big old hissy fit, baby crying kind of hissy fit about the fact that
Complaining. Crying.
And it's stupid because. Yeah, okay. I will admit, and I will give.
I mean, it was a bad play.
It was. I will admit it was a bad call.
Yeah.
A
bad no call.
As much as it upsets me, and I don't want to say that, it was a missed call. And unfortunately, things like this happen every once in a while. And guess what, guys? We just have to deal with it, because missed calls happen every single day.
Yeah.
What are we going to do? What are you going to do?
And I'm kind of looking at it like, okay, this is the one play that the refs didn't call on St. Louis. Because throughout the whole playoffs, series after series, there's been some blown call that the refs missed against the Blues. And we finally had one. I'm not advocating for it. I'm not supporting it. It was a bad no call. But for us to finally have something that the officials didn't come after us for, stop crying, stop complaining. It's the next play.
Right.
So what? You all are going to stop playing because the ref didn't call something? No. That's on y'all. Y'all are professionals. Y'all know y'all need to keep playing.
And the other thing, too, is the player that committed the, quote, foul stopped.
Yeah.
And tried to correct himself. I mean, he stopped and waited for an official to make a call. There was no call.
Yeah. So it's not on us because you all stopped playing defense. You all can't blame me for you all not playing defense. I'm sorry, that's not my job at the time. So.
Right, absolutely, and that's the whole thing, and that's where I have the big problem is, they want to sit there and whine and complain because
instead of fucking playing.
Right, just play the game.
Yeah.
Just play the game, and
like
there wouldn't be an issue.
Bad calls happen all the time.
Right.
What happened in the Rams and Saints game in the NFC Championship this past year?
Exactly.
Probably the worst no call in sports history.
One of the biggest no calls. So stuff happens, to sit here and whine and complain and get mad about it, there's no reason for it, and it's stupid. Yeah. Absolutely stupid. Now, there is another call that did happen. The Blues are up, yeah, absolutely. The Blues are up 3-2, coming back to St. Louis tomorrow on Sunday to potentially take that win and go to the first ever Stanley Cup championship win for the St. Louis Blues.
Yes.
Now, I do want to bring up another story, if I can find this. Hang on one second. It has to do with, I may have to go over here to this place to find it. But there was a situation. Oh, you got to search the right place. There was a situation as well because there has been a suspension with the playoff or another suspension that people are, and so people are upset about this because another St. Louis Blues player has been suspended, and we're going to try and pull up the clip for you because they actually do explain exactly why he has been suspended, and I want to see if you've seen this play, Jared, because the funny thing about it is I didn't even realize this play happened until they were talking about, you know, everything going on and that they had suspended him. Didn't even realize that this play had happened, and so oh man, I'm gonna get mad now because I can't find this.
I think I know.
Where Barbachov
illegally checked, quote unquote, Marcus Johansson.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Oh man, there we go.
So when I got the update for it yesterday, I'm like, what?
Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about, and that's where I want to. Oh, I know exactly where I can find this at. Because I argued with this young lady for a little bit of time about this because now, as an NHL or as a sports commentator, I do have to be partial. I cannot, you know, I do. We show our St. Louis pride, absolutely, but we are also partial to the fact that you know, even though we are
to analyze everything.
Correct. And so with this, there's a situation, and I'm probably just going to let this go because I can't find the video now, and that's what frustrates me the most. But the video shows the NHL's ruling on why he was suspended. I bet you we could find it at ESPN.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking right now.
But there's a specific reason why I want to show this video because the NHL explains exactly why they have suspended him. And if you listen to the explanation, you'll understand. But again, as a Blues fan, people are upset because they're thinking, oh my gosh, we're being ridiculed and we're being crapped on and blah, blah, blah.
And they're trying to give Boston the title. And
Right.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you can't really...
I mean, it feels that way. Yeah. Absolutely, sure. It's going to feel that way.
It's going to feel that way.
But at the same time, it's not what happened. That's absolutely not what happened. It's not because... That's okay.
Apparently, it was like an illegal check, a high forceful hit.
So yeah, that's that's the whole thing, and that's why I wanted to bring the video into play. And I'm getting frustrated that I can't find it, because NHL explains. So the whole thing about it is, and this is the reason why it's important to me, because a lot of people are claiming, well, it wasn't an illegal hit. It wasn't an illegal hit. He hit him with no problem, and it wasn't illegal. Well, the hit was, and there's one reason and one reason only why it was. He had time to stop, and that's where the problem happened. Is he had time to stop his momentum, and if you actually watch the video, he actually lowers his shoulder. So you can see that he actually put into this guy. And of course, I think our system is having an issue. It's okay. We just won't worry about it. Yeah, so anyway, the system is essentially basically what's happening is he's being suspended because of the fact that the check was to the head of the player. And because of that, that's where the problem happened, and he had time to stop himself, but he decided not to.
And then he dropped his shoulder on top
of it. Yeah, correct. He drops his shoulder. So that's where the problem was at, and that's why NHL decided to do the suspension. It's only a 1-game suspension. It's not like it's a suspension for the rest of the Stanley Cup Finals.
I mean, yeah, but this one game can potentially close out.
I mean,
the series
potentially.
at home, you know,
I mean, potentially.
they're doing the Draymond effect.
Who cares? They suspended Sundqvist, and look what happened. We came out and whooped that ass.
Yeah. No,
I
I'm not
mean,
too
the
worried
Blues
about it.
whooped that ass. Impartial. Zdeno Chara, nobody really knows exactly what's going on with Zdeno Chara. Potentially, he still has a broken jaw from what we're hearing. We don't know 100% yet, only because of the fact that Chara basically has not told anybody anything.
I don't, if he can. No pun intended.
They said that he
That's
wrote.
horrible. Let me
They
stop.
said that he had to write prior to the game 5
See, now I feel bad.
because of the fact.
he
Well,
kept
just
talking.
because the pain.
Yeah.
Like, not because of the fact that it was broke or anything. I mean, he got hit in the face
With a puck.
I mean, Chara has the hardest slap shot in the NHL.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say
108.2 or something like that miles per hour. We don't know how fast it was coming off the stick that hit him in the face, but even if it was 80,
It could have been
a
20.
puck,
Yeah.
a rubber puck, the way that those things are weighted and everything like that,
So it could have been
getting
20.
hit in the face is
It's not
going to
gonna-
hurt
It's not going to feel pretty.
pretty
No.
bad.
It's not
Pretty
gonna feel
bad.
good.
So,
Like,
ugh.
you're going to cry.
Oh, you're going to do more than cry, I'm sure. But that's okay. So, literally, he stated that that when he went off the ice, he was worried because the blood that was there on the ice, but he wasn't sure, exactly what was going on. He didn't know if it was completely broke or not. But he did write that, a lot of players are playing hurt this time of the year, and he wasn't going to be someone who wasn't going to be there. So.
Which, I can't remember, one of the Blues players came out and had basically said, like, look, everybody's injured at this point of the season.
Right.
We don't have not one person that's 100%.
Yeah.
So stop complaining. If you're going to play. If not, then sit down and watch us play.
Right, and that's the whole thing. That's their whole thing right
Literally
now.
at the end of the season. I know nobody's 100%.
There's no way everyone is 100%.
Especially in that brutal sport.
My son told me he wants to play hockey.
Braden?
Yeah, I'm cool with it. We're gonna sign him up I got him a hockey goal, and I got him what the hell's that thing called? A stick, all that stuff. I couldn't think of the word stick.
Puck,
Jesus.
stick. I don't know, some patent mask.
But yeah, we got him a goal. We got him all that stuff, and he's gonna play hockey. He's gonna take skating lessons and all that stuff, and we're gonna play hockey. So I'm pretty excited. That was the only sport I didn't get to play.
Same. Well, I never had interest, but
I had interest. So what's funny? Did you lose interest in the NBA for a little while when the lockout happened?
No, I actually gained more interest.
Did you really?
So when the lockout happened, you literally had like all these superstars teaming up.
I
with
forgot
each
about
other,
that. So it was
going
totally
to
different.
Rucker Park and playing against like Target salesmen.
It was totally different in the NHL when the lockout happened. It wasn't like that. When the lockout happened,
everything was dead.
Everything just kind of stopped. And so it caused me to lose interest in the NHL, and I lost interest I really didn't gain interest again until a friend of mine called me and was like, hey, I got tickets to a Blues game. You want to go to the Blues game? And I was like, no, I don't give a damn about the Blues. And then, sure enough, I was like, all right, fine, let's go. And we went to the Blues game, and it was awesome. I had a great time. So, with that being said, the Blues game. This was probably 2014.
Okay.
So I mean, the lockout happened in 08, 09, and I mean, it wasn't until 2014 that I really cared anymore. I'd watch, an NHL game here and there whenever it would be on, but I wouldn't. Yeah, it wasn't anything important.
My first Blues game was maybe a year right after you.
Okay.
Right after 2014, I went a couple years ago, a few seasons ago actually, and then I had checked out a couple games. First game we lost 4-0 to the Sharks. And that
Oh,
usually
jeez.
happens to every sporting event that I go to. My favorite team loses.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, don't go to Game 6 for me.
$2,000 for a ticket, not I.
We're going to talk about that in just a second. The Bruins president, Cam Neely, hurled a water bottle at a wall. Boston fans littered the ice with garbage, and coach Bruce Cassidy called it egregious in an intense rant about how the quality of playoff officiating has been a black eye for the NHL.
Classy Boston.
Yes, but I do agree with him. There's been a lot of terrible missed calls, things like that. I hate to say it, but the Blues should have been playing the Las Vegas Knights and not the San Jose Sharks. Yeah. There was quite a few missed calls in the San Jose Vegas series that would have put Vegas up to be the winners. Mm-hmm. So, one guy, though, who doesn't care about either of that at all is Blues fan Scott Barry, who is about to cash in on $100,000. Scott Barry, back in January, decided he was going to turn around and take a $400 bet and take it out to Vegas on the last place Blues, who had 250 to 1 odds to win. This is because at the time the Blues were in dead last. He is about to make $100,000 by putting this bet on the St. Louis Blues. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Oh yeah, this is what we are talking about with the tickets. So I haven't looked at them actually yet. Actually, you know what? Let's do it right now. We're gonna pull it up over here.
So from what I have,
let's go. We're gonna look at StubHub first because StubHub.
Oh, first thing.
StubHub, St. Louis Blues. Click on right there. St. Louis Blues tickets. Bruins, Blues, Game 6. Lowest price, $15.20.65. Section 324. If you want to know where 324 is, it's right here. Here's your shot. Here's your view from Section 324 for $1,500.
Well, if we're going to look at the TD Ameritrade Center, it's a lot like Busch Stadium.
No, this is Enterprise Center.
Well, yeah, Enterprise Center.
Yeah, this is Enterprise Center.
They renamed it to the TD Ameritrade.
No, TD is
Or did they get bought out by Enterprise?
Yeah. Scott Trade when it happened, Scott Trade gave up the rights. So it's called the Enterprise Center now.
5 times.
But it's okay. This is the first season, so it's okay.
It's cool.
And actually, it happened mid-season. It changed.
Right. No,
so you're fine.
That. But there's really not a bad seat in the arena.
I agree with you, but I'm not spending $1,500 for this.
Hell no. Not that.
Okay, so let's now go to right here. Best seats. This is the best that's available. Section 324. So right here, here's our ticket cost. One ticket on StubHub.
$1,696.
Hold on. But we could get these seats.
Yeah, for $603 more.
Oh, more. I thought that said $603. I was like,
no, more.
I'll get a loan for one ticket. I mean, I would pay $2,300 for that.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
$2,300. Apparently, right now,
I feel like I'm in the game at that point.
Yeah. That's why I would pay for it there. Now let's see. I want a single ticket. Oh, where's this kid coming from? Who's this kid? Okay, there we go. That was weird. Sorry, guys. Don't know who the kid was.
I don't know.
Nope. Oh, here's a ticket for $2,900. I want this ticket right here. There we go.
What was the price?
$6,200. $6,200.
You know what I can do with $6,200?
For 2 tickets right now. 2 tickets behind home plate. Behind the goal that the Blues attack twice. For 2 tickets, $16,000. $116,000. Now,
That's more than what I had to take off of my car.
let's see if we can get.
Wow.
Okay, so tickets are relatively the same now. For a while there, these tickets were actually Game 7, if it happens, were much cheaper. Like Game 7 was like $500.
Oh well, it was up in Boston. Yeah,
Right,
that
right.
makes sense.
So I mean, these seats were like $500, but this is a situation again where it goes to show just how much money sports teams are able to exploit their players for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. We see it right here. 100%. We just showed you how much of a difference there is in ticket cost, and
That is insane.
people pay this
Literally.
every day
Yeah.
to be able to go to these games.
Fucking money.
Money. Like, I don't even know how to say it any other way.
Yeah,
But
but
money.
I tried to get on point with you.
A lot of it.
That's
Okay,
insane.
so now we've talked NHL Finals, Stanley Cup Finals. Jared, what do we got going on over in the NBA Finals?
Over in the NBA
A
Finals,
lot.
A lot. You actually had the Toronto Raptors win last night again. They're currently up 3-1 in the series.
Oh, the Toronto Maple Leafs are about to win?
The Raptors.
Oh, I didn't know there was any other team that had championship caliber except for the Maple Leafs. Oh,
Yeah,
wait,
so-
the Blue Jays?
Nah, not the Blue
Oh, no,
Jays.
93 was the last time they did anything.
Yeah, they lost their hopes when they gave up Jose Batista. But no, so the Raptors won 105-92 last night.
And when they let St. Louis's Mark Burley go.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, but just what Kawhi Leonard has been doing. Like last night, he had 36 and 12. He's literally putting the team on his back. Now, granted, the Warriors are hurt. Klay Thompson not 100%. KD's still out. DeMarcus Cousins is still maybe about 60-70%. But for what Kawhi Leonard is doing, it's pretty insane. He's definitely going to be Finals MVP if they do end up closing this series out. It'll be good to see Toronto win this championship.
Bro, they're saying that Kevin Durant, if Golden State loses, Kevin Durant or Golden State wins somehow, if they do their 3-1 comeback again,
He'll leave.
I
feel like he'll leave either way.
Really?
At this point, yeah. So I have a couple different theories about Kevin Durant and the Warriors right now. I don't think it's his calf. I actually think it's his Achilles.
I think it's his heart. I'm just kidding.
But that's another thing. Also, I actually do think that, and honestly, I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But he's heard all these reports because you know how Kevin Durant is. He's the one that fires back to fans and analysts.
Right.
He gets into his feelings a lot. Not to say that in a bad way, but he's hearing all these reports about Golden State can win without him and yada yada.
That's what a lot of people are saying.
Do it then.
That's what a lot of people are saying, and he's. I mean, I don't blame him for being upset with that because
But you're really gonna
he was
sit
an
back.
integral. But he was an integral part of them winning the previous championship.
Right.
So
I mean,
for
he's
them to talk like that, I mean, is crazy. And sure, absolutely, whatever you want to say about that Steph Curry's team. Sure, it's Steph Curry's team, but Steph Curry, just like Michael, has these pieces.
Yeah, no, facts. No, I completely agree with you. But I kind of look at it like you're this far into being with this team. If you're still worried about what everybody else is saying besides what's actually going on within your organization, then maybe you don't need to be there. You know, maybe you shouldn't have gone there in the first place. And honestly, at this point, I'm kind of looking at it like if, and this might be far-fetched, but if he never wouldn't have won there, LeBron would probably have 5 titles. Because Kevin Durant was the reason why the Warriors won the past 2 NBA championships. He's been the Finals MVP the past 2 years. But if you're going to actually sit up here and not play because you keep hearing all these reports from analysts and fans and critics, maybe you shouldn't be playing basketball at all.
Right.
You're gonna get criticized regardless. This man LeBron James has done nothing wrong in his career, but you still have 1 million people bash him every day. He can't even enjoy fucking pool time with his family without somebody criticizing him, you know?
Right.
Like, this is his first offseason in 14 years.
Right.
So, Kevin Durant, you're going to have to take the heat somewhere. You're the second best player on the planet.
Right. And unfortunately, I mean, I hate to say it.
Like, come on
yeah,
now.
second best, for sure.
I don't...
Potentially, maybe not even second.
Second, you know?
Potentially third or fourth.
Yeah. But it's the simple fact that...
Okay, let's say he's fourth. I'll tell you who my three are, but who would your three be that you put in front of him?
Steph. I'm a huge Steph Curry fan.
Sure.
I'm not gonna do James Harden. I'll probably say Anthony Davis and Giannis Antetokounmpo. But other than
greatest name in basketball.
I love that name.
But so you're not going to use James Harden, but I'm going to tell you my three are LeBron, Steph, and James.
The only reason why I'm not putting James in that situation, he's only good on the offensive end for one. Two.
Okay.
This past year when they got eliminated in Game 7 by the Warriors, he gave up. You could see in his play he gave up. He's passing the ball. He's not having the ball in his hands. But the whole first 36 minutes of the game, you want to shoot every shot.
Right.
But when it comes to the fourth quarter, you don't want to try to do anything. You know, I don't. You have.
Yeah,
to
that's
be,
a problem.
You
It's a problem.
have a certain amount of leadership for you to be one of the best in the league.
Right.
Not saying he's not, but for me to put him in my top 4 or 5, I can't do that yet.
Yeah, it would be. I understand what you're saying. I still think that in my opinion, I think he's one of those top 5.
Honestly, I'm probably putting Kawhi Leonard as the second or third best player on the planet right now.
I mean,
by how he's been playing this postseason.
Fantastic play in the postseason. I don't think you could add. And wasn't he upset about having to go to Toronto? He didn't want to go to Toronto.
No, he wanted to get. He did.
He just wanted out of San Antonio. So I think he just took the Toronto position, but he really did not want to go there. Yeah. Well, we're going to show you this clip real quick.
I do want to talk to you about this also.
Yeah, so we're going to definitely talk about this clip here because this situation is crazy. And we'll talk about it while the clip is playing. But the situation, if you're watching, Warriors investor Mark Stevens decided that he was going to shove Kyle Lowry. And every time I see Kyle Lowry's name, I keep wanting to say no, Kyrie
Irving.
Yeah. But anyway, so he has decided that he's going to shove basketball player Kyle Lowry instead of doing the smart thing,
which was just not touching,
and just let the play happen.
Yeah.
So now Mark Stevens has been fined $500,000. He's been banned for one full basketball season, and potentially it's looking like he may have to sell his shares of the team.
Yeah, that happens.
That he's not going to be allowed to be able to be there anymore. And I don't have a problem with that.
Not at all.
If you are silly enough to get involved in the play by touching the player, knowing you're not supposed to,
knowing the consequences.
And I don't. Well, I will say I don't know if he knew exactly what this consequence was going to be, but you know that there is going to be a consequence.
No, you've seen before. Now it's completely different from back in the 80s and 90s when you had like Ron Artest running in the palace swinging on fans.
Oh my gosh!
But what was it, a year or two ago? Russell Westbrook got into it with a fan that just like flicked him off with both hands right in front of him. He got kicked out of the game and he got banned from the arena. You know?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You can't. That play made me so upset. As part owner, for one, that $500,000 fine is bullshit. Sorry, pardon my.
Only $500,000.
When you're worth $2.3 billion, yeah, no, that's a slap on the wrist. That's bullshit. A year suspension? No, if this was a regular fan, they would have been banned for life. You need to go ahead and make that happen. And then 3, I like what Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, did say that he's probably going to come out and make him sell his part of the team.
Well, they made the guy from the Clippers.
Yeah, they made him sell his part of the team.
His
was much more.
His was very egregious, but at the same time,
that shows you that it can happen.
At the same time, though, that guy's situation was crazy because of the fact that he didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
He was being recorded behind his back.
Right.
Does it make it right? No. But at the same time, it's like,
What he was doing was wrong too.
It's like, okay, so that's pretty ballsy to say those things, especially about dudes that are on your team that you employ.
You brought in.
Yeah, you brought them in. Yeah,
like
you brought them.
And that somebody hired them. No, you brought these people in. But no, Mark Stevens, he deserves to never be able to attend another NBA game. He doesn't deserve his little portion of the franchise.
Now, I won't say that. I won't say that at one point. Give him the ban. Let him learn from his mistakes. But do not allow him to purchase seats within a certain
radius of the court.
Or distance from the court.
Get courtside seats.
Right.
Like that.
So don't, let him, let him still be able to go to games.
See, yeah, I agree with you, but then I'm also thinking on the other side, this is an owner. This is the owner of a team. This is the finals. Kyle Lowry can easily say, "Oh, my shoulder hurts." You know how many? You know what that's going to do?
Yes,
you know how many
but at the same time, Jared, we all get a little caught up.
I don't care.
And we forget.
I don't care. Not him. Not that moment. Not right there.
But Jared, he bought into the franchise because he was a fan, and sometimes as a fan, you forget where you're at, and you just see that guy, and you go, "Oh my God, he's not on our team. I'm gonna show him what I think."
But that's his place of employment, and I'm talking about that's Kyle Lowry's place of employment. You can't. If I can't remember who made the point, but if this was on the street and Kyle Lowry just went up and pushed him, he probably would have been arrested for assault. You know what I mean? Even vice versa. But I just feel like as an owner, you should know. You know right from wrong. You're grown as hell. You're not some teenage kid running on the court trying to hug your favorite player. You shoving the NBA player after he's doing his job and trying to save the ball, die for the ball. If you don't want to be touched, don't get courtside seats. That's as simple as that. You know the risk. Maybe not a lifetime ban, but he should be fined a little bit more than $500,000 if he's the 962nd richest person in the world. That's a fact.
First off, who the hell counts that shit?
I don't know. I saw it.
So what do we think about Klay Thompson? Did Klay play the other night?
Yeah, Klay played last night. He did lead all Warriors players with 28 points.
But that's not good for a team when one of the guys who was injured for you is the one who leads.
Right. I mean, you can kind of look at it like, okay, Steph had 27, which was a point less. He could have stepped up more. But at the same time, when you have 27 and, what did he have? 27 and 6, which it's not, he didn't have the best shooting performance. He shot 2 of 9 from the 3. Klay Thompson shot 6 of 10, which is actually good to see him shoot like that, despite his shooting woes he has had this playoffs and the injury quad that he has. But I can't blame it on them too. They've been working with KD for these past few years. They know that system now. You know,
sure.
They don't know the system that won them 73 games before KD came into the picture. Draymond Green isn't producing offensively like he was back then. You know, Andre Iguodala is a lot older. He's not producing like he was. Neither is Sean Livingston. You know, Kevin Looney's been out. Well, he actually played. He's come back even though he has a fractured collarbone. But KD's a vital part of that team. Yes, I still feel like they can win without him.
Right.
Just because I'm not sold on the Raptors as a team.
Sure.
I'm sold on Kawhi Leonard. But as the Raptors as a team, no, I'm not sold on them. So, yes, I do think that they can come back. But it is going to take some major efforts from Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Splash Brothers.
Well, one thing I don't think you realize, Jared, but the Toronto Raptors are costing McDonald's $5.4 million
in fries.
In French fries, yes. People don't know. People in the Toronto, Ontario area have the ability to go get a free medium fry every day after the Raptors make 12 or more three-pointers in one game. This deal was signed before DeMar DeRozan was traded to the Spurs for Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green. The head of McDonald's franchising for Eastern Canada, Chuck Coolin, said he was worried about the fate of the Raptors and its free fry program when the trade happened. Instead, it's created renewed enthusiasm about the team and a run on free fries, even though the regular season numbers are about the same. So I just think it's funny because Taco Bell also had a thing called, they always do a thing called that has to do with stealing. And so Taco Bell did steal the game, where it would be the first team to take a win, or if any team took a win
on a stolen
as the away team.
Yeah.
And Toronto game 1 took a win, so everybody on June 18th gets a one free Doritos Loco Taco from Taco Bell.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean, there's just weird. It's not weird, but it's just funny, like how people put all this stuff.
Just different implications.
Yeah.
And
so
that was a bad deal for the Raptors to sign with McDonald's, just because Danny Green's a hell.
And the worst part about it is, like I said, like it says,
shooter.
they signed it like 2 days before the trade.
Then they get 2.
And now they can't. Now they can't change it. Right. So, all right, Jared, we're gonna take a look over here real quick. I want to show you the uniforms that have just been unveiled.
I've seen them.
By the Chicago Bears. These are the uniforms that the Bears will be using as their throwback jerseys this year.
Them socks.
What are your thoughts here?
I like them. They're, I don't know the word for it, but it's different. It feels more open, I guess you can say.
Celebrating 100 years of Chicago Bears. I don't like them. The reason I don't like them is they look like they are trying to copy. I mean, obviously they're not. It's supposed to be a different era, but they look like they're trying to copy the uniforms that the Denver Broncos had as their throwback uniforms a couple years ago.
I can see what you're saying. I slightly agree. But when you have two teams that have very similar colors, there's not many different color schemes.
Well, no. They did the whole stripe like this,
right?
All that stuff.
I remember that.
It wasn't anything to do with the colors. It was all about the striping and stuff like that. So I personally do not care for this. I think it's I think they look like they're a copy, like I said, of the other ones, and I'd like for them to have something different instead of the instead of these.
Yeah,
so
I feel you.
And now, have you seen the new Jets jerseys and
like
uniforms? We're gonna take a look here real quick at the new Jets as soon as it pulls up, because I have to say,
do you like the Jets?
These might be my favorite New Jerseys. I'm a Packers fan, die hard through and through, but, and of course, these people are going to crap on the jerseys and talk about how
it's the Jets.
They're not good and all this other stuff.
I feel like that's just common Jet slander.
But yeah, I agree with you. I do feel like it is
I do feel
commonplace.
Like they have a little bit more of the Philadelphia Eagles green more than the gang green with the Jets, but they're okay.
So I dig the all black. I dig the you can't see it in the picture right here because they're not in it at the moment. Actually, they might be in this picture. They don't show it now for some reason. But I've seen green on green.
I've seen that one.
I like the green on green. I would actually prefer the all white. White tops, white bottoms.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the fact that they're going back to the old school Jets on the side of the helmet instead of the New Jersey or the NJ that they had or whatever, or the NY. I didn't like that too much. I like that they're going back to the green helmet instead of the white.
With the green.
Yeah. This just looks like a really sleek look for them. I'm really kind of excited to see them play this year. Hopefully,
they're trying to rejuvenate their.
Well, hopefully they can play as good as they'll look.
Yeah.
So we'll see. The other team that apparently is getting new jerseys are the
Did I see-
Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I saw Odell.
They haven't released them yet, but Odell has seen them. If you watch that that docu-series on YouTube called "Building the Browns," it is on there. You can see what they look, or you can see that they talk about it and stuff like that. So, speaking of the Jets, though, the Jets have just hired Joe Douglas. Couldn't think of his name for a second there.
Really?
They just hired Joe Douglas, who was the vice president of player personnel for the Philadelphia Eagles. He is a big cohort friend of Adam Gase, who's the new coach for the Jets. So we'll see how that happens. The Houston Texans told Brian Gain, hey man, one season's enough for us. It didn't work out. They have fired their general manager. Gain was hired in January of 2018 after former general manager Rick Smith took a leave of absence to help take care of his wife as she battled breast cancer. Gain had actually signed a 5-year deal.
See, and that's one thing I don't. How do you feel about like players, coaches, GMs, whoever getting fired or released after one season?
I don't like it, and the reason I don't like it is that's not enough time to turn around.
Exactly. You expect them to get
you can't expect them to you can't expect in one season. Oh my God! Look, everything's perfect now.
Right.
It doesn't work that way, and if you think it works that way, you're jacked up in the head. You got bigger problems.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
I don't
no,
like
not
it,
at all.
You know? It always just leaves a sour taste in my mouth when you hear about stories like that, just because it's like, how do you expect them to actually come together when, okay, there's 16 games in a season.
Right.
16 weeks you're with 17 because of the bye week or whatever. You're with them. But that doesn't mean that you can change the season around in those 16 weeks, or you change your franchise around. You see how long it took for the Browns to actually come together? After how many 0-16 seasons, 1-15 seasons, you know,
like 30 years.
You see how the Rams are finally back in actually a good team after how many years? You know, I don't like how after one season they can just easily let somebody go like that.
Yeah, I find it to be an issue for that main reason, because of the fact that as much as we'd like to say, oh well, there's nothing more he can do. He did everything, and things just they're not going the way they need to go.
Yeah.
You cannot say there's no way you can tell me after one season that
shit's gonna be better than
that. Hey man, it just it didn't work, bro. We're not gonna be able to do it, and
time to make it work.
Right. And so I just think it's silly. Speaking of the Eagles, though, they have
extended.
I don't like this.
I was waiting on you to.
As a person who just follows sports, period.
Well, you're not sold on Carson Wentz.
No. I don't think Carson Wentz is great. I don't think he is.
I mean, I get it.
I don't think he's the future of the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a lot wrong with Carson Wentz, and the main thing is he's Sam Bradford.
I'm not gonna say that.
He is Sam Bradford.
That's extreme.
Until this kid finishes a full season, I won't call you anything other than Sam Bradford.
It's still too young in his career.
No, it's not. Sam Bradford was hurt this young in his career too.
No,
I think Sam Bradford has only played one full season.
Right, but Carson Wentz has produced.
And that was because he was on the damn bench.
Wentz produces when he plays.
Bradford produced when he played.
Barely.
Not for the Rams. That's because, that's only because of the fact that they didn't invest.
That's the Sam Bradford I'm going off.
Sure.
Just because.
But everybody goes off of that Bradford because the team didn't. Kroenke didn't invest in St. Louis.
Right.
Kroenke purposely was drafting players and stuff to shit on the city of St. Louis so that he could get the team out of St. Louis.
Yeah.
So I can't take too much into account for what happened here in St. Louis. Now, I can take into account people like Chris Long and James Laurinaitis and those guys who busted their ass for the city of St. Louis, even though they were getting shit on by their owner, and they knew they were getting shit on, but they weren't saying anything because, hey, I want to keep my job. But as soon as they voiced their opinion that they were upset that the team was leaving St. Louis and going to Los Angeles, both of them got let go.
Yeah.
Very quickly. And so did Roger Saffold. All three of those guys voiced their opinion that they did not want this team to leave St. Louis, and they all three, within a week of voicing that opinion, were let go.
Out the door. Yep. And they're arguably one of the best in their positions.
Look at Chris Long. Look at Chris Long, just retired.
Yep.
But Chris Long, son of Howie Long, and his brother is Jake Long, that plays for the Chicago Bears. That we were just looking at their uniforms, and Chris Long played for the New England Patriots, and then turned around and kicked New England Patriots in the balls and won a Super Bowl. So he's played for it was the flip. He played for the Patriots, won the Super Bowl, then played for the Eagles, won the Super Bowl, and then played this year and retired after the season.
Yeah.
So for you to say that, or for anyone, not you specifically, Jared, but for you guys to say that the team was just full of scrubs wasn't the case. Janoris Jenkins is a stud for the New York. Well, I think he's
the Giants.
I think he's still with the Giants. Yeah. I'll have to look. I haven't looked at him lately.
But he was a stud when he was with us.
In St. Louis, he was good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. That's why I'm excited for the XFL to come to St. Louis. I want Smash Mouth football back in St. Louis. Yeah. And you know who does provide Smash Mouth football? The St. Louis Slam. Yeah. And if you don't know who the St. Louis Slam is, I'm going to give you their information right now. It is St. Louis. The website is stlslam.com. Or hold on, their page has changed. Give me 1 second. Let me find it for you again so I can give you the information. But if you want to watch some good football leading up... Oh, okay, it has changed. stlslamfootball.com. And if you want to check out good football leading up to the XFL coming back to St. Louis, this weekend is their last game. Actually, I think it happens this evening. Is their last game. Tonight, Saturday, is their last regular season game. But these ladies are back-to-back national champions.
Wow.
Back-to-back national champions. And I mean, we're talking about, Jared, I'm looking at the scores right now. These aren't
they're not close.
These aren't bullshit scores. Arkansas Wildcats 35-0. Kansas City Titans 28-8. Derby City Dynamite 31-6. Iowa Phoenix 77-0. Kansas City Titans 28-13. Go on, so forth. They play
77-0.
Yeah. They play their last regular season game today versus the Columbus Vanguards. Next week is round 1 of the playoffs. Then they have a bye week. June 29th is round 2 of the playoffs, bye week. And then they have the Women's Football Alliance, I think is what it's called, championship on July 13th. You know your team is badass when you just put that as part of your schedule. You don't even screw around. You don't even screw around. You just go, this is part of our schedule, just so you know.
So they're on their way to three-peat pretty much.
I mean, they're great. Taylor Hayes, who is one of the backbone players for that team. She's the running back. I interviewed Taylor a couple years ago before they actually, unfortunately, lost the first year that I got to know the St. Louis Slam. But it was like by a touchdown they lost in the championship. I mean, these girls are hard-nosed football players, and it's really cool. So I'd love for some of you guys to go out to the XFL. Go show these dudes. Go put these dudes in their place.
Hell yeah.
Last thing about football real quick before we get to some other quick little things. The New England Patriots can finish this next football season at 3-13 and still have the best winning percentage ever in the NFL for a decade. In the decade of 2010 to 2018 so far, the Patriots are 129-37. That's a winning percentage of 777.
Over a decade.
Over a decade.
Wow.
The
That's
best
insane.
record in any decade currently belongs to the Cowboys of the 70s, who went 119-46. They're followed closely by the Dolphins of the 70s, who went 112-44-1. Those records, though, also do include the postseason. Or no, all of these records include the postseason. After those two 1970s teams, the next best record of any decade belongs to the Patriots from 2000 to 2009. They went 126-52 in that decade, and that includes a 5-13 record to start the decade before Drew Bledsoe got hurt and gave way to Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. That's what started it off.
Wow.
Wow.
Absolutely crazy. Djokovic, little tennis. We don't talk a lot about tennis.
We don't.
But pretty big news. Djokovic's 26-match Grand Slam winning streak has ended. This past Saturday, Djokovic lost to Dominic Thiem in a rain-interrupted French Open semifinal that spanned more than 4 hours over a two-day period. Thiem wasted 2 match points with quick, unforced errors when serving for a victory at 5-4 in the fifth, but he made his third chance count, smacking a forehand winner to break Djokovic in the last game. I mean, this is some pretty big news because of the fact that this puts Thiem in the final for the French.
Yeah.
Do we know who he is taking on
Yeah,
yet? Is he taking on Federer?
No. So
Or,
it actually sucks because he's facing off against Rafael.
Oh, Nadal.
Which is the king of clay.
Oh my God.
So
have you ever? Jared. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. I don't know how much you've paid attention to the sports other than like some of the big ones. But in tennis, they actually did this thing one time because Nadal is so good on clay, Federer is so good on the grass. They actually took and made a court that was half clay, half grass.
Yeah, I remember that.
So Federer was able to play on the grass.
And
Nadal played on the clay, and then they swapped, obviously, so that it was a fair matchup.
Mm-hmm.
It was just an exhibition. I don't remember who won it, but I just found it very intriguing and very cool that they did something like that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, baseball is not going to turn around and be like, "Hey, softball, let's make the pitcher's mound 45 feet.
Right.
The bases are still going to be 90, and we'll use those aluminum bats like you guys use."
Yeah. No.
They're not gonna do anything like that as a fun exhibition thing. I mean, they obviously have celebrity and stuff like that, softball games, but nothing as intriguing. Have you ever seen the Jenny Finch striking out Albert Pujols video?
Yeah, I have.
Bro,
it's pretty crazy.
Go ahead and talk. I'm gonna try and pull that up real quick because I want people to see this, because Jenny Finch made not just Albert Pujols, but she made other Major League Baseball players look dirty.
Silly. Yeah. No, but what I was saying, similar on the lines, the NCAA is actually next year, they're extending the three-point line to the international three-point line. But
Okay, so explain that, because we were at the College of Pharmacy for the ABA National Championship, and I was confused. That was one thing I was confused with, because there are, I guess, there's 3 different lines.
Yeah, yes and no. So I don't know the exact numbers or dimensions or anything like that, but you have the college three-point line, which is shorter than the international three-point line. But then you have the international three-point line, which is shorter than the NBA three-point line. So that's why you probably...
Okay, so college basketball, the distance is what?
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. Keep talking. I'm going to find it out for us.
But you notice how USA basketball always dominates other competition, especially like in Olympics, Summer Games, other overseas just overseas games. It's because the international three-point line is a lot closer than the NBA three-point line. So essentially, they're taking mid-range shots compared to their original three-point shots.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's like a foot smaller.
Yeah. So in the NBA, the radius of the arc is 23 feet 9 inches. In FIBA, which is the Federal International Basketball Association, 22 feet 2 inches.
Okay.
In the NCAA, it's only 0.25 inches shorter. well, that's D1. D2, D3 is 20 feet 9 inches, and then high school sports is 19 feet 9 inches. So
essentially,
I mean,
you're getting your players a little bit more prepared.
yeah, move everybody back to 22-2.
Yeah.
Everybody, high school and everything.
I don't like high school. Not that early. Now, when they get to college, I feel like all levels of college should be the 22 feet, or
Sure.
at least closer in between like the international and the NBA 3-point line. But high school can kind of stay where it's at. But across all levels of college basketball, from NAIA to JUCO to NCAA D1, D2, D3, let's get it a little bit closer to that 3-point line in the NBA.
Now, here's the reason why I say that, though, because looking at this as well, the distance between the sideline and the arc is vastly different. So in the NBA, it's a 3 foot space
between the
side, which is essentially
also a shorter distance than the top of the arc when you're shooting the 3. The side and the top of the arc, those are two completely different distances.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shorter spot is to take a shot from the side. Yeah. Less distance to have to shoot from. In FIBA, it's 2 feet 11. In NCAA Division I, 2 feet 11. Now, this is where it gets pretty bizarre, and this is why I was saying to do this, because NCAA Division II and III, it's 4 feet 3 inches. So if
That's a lot of space.
If we're expanding this out to 22-2, then we're going to have a 2 feet 11 on the sides. But if you're going from high school to college ball, you're going from a 5 foot 3 inch space to 2 feet 11 inches.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge difference, and that's really going to change
You gotta adapt
the way a player plays.
Yeah.
And so, in my opinion, okay, so we don't make it the international, but make everyone be around that 22 feet with somewhere around 2 to 3 feet.
Yeah.
For your sidelines, because otherwise it's too different, in my opinion.
Well, then you'll have people that'll say that's why you got an off season to adjust and stuff like that. When I went off to Culver, everything was different.
What was Culver's
Culver
mascot?
Stockton College
Mascot.
Wildcats.
Wildcats?
Yeah, we were the Wildcats. But everything was different, from the dimensions of the court to the pace of the game.
I was gonna say you wanted to stay a Wildcat, but you weren't a Wildcat.
No, I was a Spartan at first.
Yeah.
Spartan to a Wildcat. But we'll touch on that a different time.
But yeah, it is a different pace.
You have different coaches. They want you to play a different style of playing. And
well, that's why a lot of guys in the NFL go from being a quarterback or something like that to becoming a wide receiver or a running back. Yeah. Or even John Franklin Jr., John Franklin III, who's from the TV show that we like, Last Chance University, or Last Chance U, which I'm waiting to hear back. We are potentially going to have Miss Brittany on.
Okay.
And I can't wait to talk to her because I just want to. There's so much I want to talk to her about. But anyway, if you don't know who Miss Brittany is, go to Netflix and check out Last Chance U. Check out the first 2 seasons with EMCUU, though. Don't check out the season in Kansas because you won't know who Miss Brittany is. But anyway,
she's not there.
Yeah, because she's in a different state. But anyway, John Franklin III. He was the quarterback. He was a quarterback in Florida State. He was a quarterback. He became a quarterback for Auburn. He gets drafted by the Chicago Bears, and the Chicago Bears make him a safety.
Yeah.
Brad Smith from Mizzou was a quarterback and became a wide receiver.
Terrell Pryor from Ohio State.
Terrell Pryor. I mean, there's a lot.
Miller.
Yeah. There's names all over the place.
Hell, they were trying to make Tebow a running back or a fullback. You know?
They wanted to make him a tight end.
Or a tight end. Yeah.
Yeah. Real quick, before we forget about it, I've got this video for us. We're gonna play Jenny Finch striking out Albert Pujols.
This was hilarious.
So Jenny, this is a little thing that they had during All-Star Weekend. Jenny was able to pitch from her distance 40. I think softball is 45.5 is the distance from mound to the plate. So she She pitches 45-5. Pujols has to swing at his pace, or at his speed, obviously. See it here. It's a rise ball. That ball defies gravity, actually. There's a way, I don't know how they throw it, but the rise ball is actually a pitch that defies gravity. A ball should never go up. It should always go down. And there's something about the way they release that ball in softball where the pitch actually goes up into your face. Yeah. And it's considered the most devastating pitch in all of softball. So
that was insane.
It's pretty amazing to see stuff like that.
You saw him, like, he couldn't even... Like,
you see his face.
He couldn't even make contact.
Yeah, and the best part is his face, because he just turns around and he just looks at the other guys and he goes...
Like, what
he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do.
I need my mommy.
But speaking of Major League Baseball, we had two pretty big signings this past week that happened. The last two big free agents that were on the board, Craig Kimbrell signed a 3-year, $43 million deal with the Chicago Cubs, and Dallas Keuchel. I'm almost positive I said his name correctly.
I thought it was like Kuechly.
It might be. No, it's not Luke.
No, Kuechly.
It's not Luke Kuechly.
No, I know. Dallas.
Dallas. I think it's Dallas Keuchel.
I don't know.
I promise you, I've never actually heard anybody pronounce his name. That's the only reason why I'm saying I might be saying it wrong.
I feel like I have. I don't know. It is what it is.
But he threw me off now.
Dallas.
Oh, he signed a one year, $13 million deal with the Atlanta Braves. Deals for both agents, not surprisingly, gained steam this week after the MLB draft commenced. Since both players refused qualifying deals during the winter, that meant both had draft pick compensations attached if they signed prior to the draft. So what was happening is these teams did not want to sign these guys, and this is why they did not sign for so long. Cubs and Braves did not want to sign them because what would happen is if the Cubs would have signed Craig Kimbrell prior to the draft, they would have owed the Boston Red Sox, I think, 1 or 2 draft picks.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Atlanta Braves. They would have owed Houston draft picks in regards to be able to have the rights to be able to sign these guys. So, very last thing we're going to get to, there is a new heavyweight champion of the world.
Yes.
Andy Ruiz, who is now known as the Fat Weight. People are literally starting to coin the phrase fat weight instead of heavyweight.
Did you see the fight?
I saw the knockout.
No, you got to go and look at the highlights of the
I'll have to go back and watch all of it, but I saw the knockout. But this dude, who's a former champion? I forget his name now.
Anthony Joshua.
Yeah. They were talking about that Ruiz will be able to bring legitimacy back to the title. That Johnson pretty much made it a mockery, and people were very upset of it. But the big thing is, and this is why we're going to play the song that we're going to play when we get out of here. But the big thing is, this is our first Mexican heavyweight. The first ever Mexican heavyweight champion.
Really?
Is Ruiz, and so big props to Mr. Ruiz for that. Super excited for all things for him. So
yeah, Deontay Wilder. In my opinion, Deontay Wilder should have been fought Anthony Joshua, and that title should have been Deontay Wilder's. But
yeah, Joshua for whatever reason kept skating it.
Yeah,
he didn't want to have the fight.
I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't want to fight Wilder.
I don't blame him, and clearly we see why. Because if you can't beat Anthony Ruiz, you're probably not going to beat Deontay.
Well, don't
Wilder.
say it like that though.
With all due respect, because that's what I'm saying. You have to go see those highlights. Anthony
I'm gonna have to check it out.
He did him bad, shockingly, because Anthony Joshua's more of a technical fighter. He doesn't get hit a lot. He's always moving. No, it was bad. He decimated just if we could have seen what Deontay Wilder would have done to Anthony Joshua. Because now I don't think they're going to fight. I don't think they're going to fight now.
There's no point for it.
Right.
We'll see what happens, man. But we're going to get out of here. We appreciate everybody that has stopped by and checked out the show. You can find it tomorrow at the earliest on YouTube as well as on our website, which is right there for you, sports-fox.com. You can also send us an email at onair@sports-fox.com. This is what I was talking about here. This is our going away song right now. It's Kulo by Pitbull. Make sure you guys go over to the website, check out the hats that we have. I'm going to zoom in on this hat real quick for you so you guys can see if I can. Maybe I can't. I don't know. I thought I could do that, but I guess it doesn't want to do it. So make sure you guys go check it out. Sports-fox.com. You can go check it out. Make sure you go to our Facebook, our Twitter, go to our Facebook, and go to our Instagram. We want you to see you guys all of those places. But ultimately, make sure you follow us. Follow us, follow us, follow us. We are always posting stuff. We are always putting things up for you to be able to see. So make sure you guys go to the website and check all that stuff out.
Check us out.
But for myself, I am Robert Hickman.
I'm Jared Cooney.
Make sure you guys come back next time to Sports Central.
Peace.
Let's go.